Yeah, it's the REKK report. Rekkhan's in the building, giving you the raw and uncut. You know how I do. Sit back, relax. Welcome to my world. We getting it in. Let's get this started. It's the REKK report. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the REKK report. Today's topic is the ice raids in Chicago, my city, my town. It is what it is. There's a lot of misinformation out there right now, and I wanted to give y'all the scoop on what's actually happening, because they're painting out this narrative, and I want to try to, I'm basically dispel that right now. First things first, they are not targeting us FBAs, Black Americans. They're not. It's not a target for us. It's not like they're coming for us and stuff like that. Main reason why is because we had a story most recently about ICE agents coming to South Shore. I'm in South Shore, so I'm not that far from the place where they actually did the raid at this building. And the thing is that the reason why that building was specifically targeted was because they had basically all, migrants and immigrants that were kind of like, by this being a sanctuary city and everything, instead of, what they were doing was pretty much kind of bringing migrants and immigrants more into the country when they came from the the border. So they brought them further into the country. So they went to sanctuary cities like us, like Chicago, like New York and stuff like that. And basically they placed them in predominantly Black areas because these other parts of the city don't want to deal with it. So they put them in our neighborhoods. And so that's why they end up closing a gang of our schools down. And now those schools have been revamped and refurnished to make them migrant shelters, etc., etc., etc. But the thing is about this particular place, it was a bunch of Venezuelans, and they had like a Venezuelan gang that was there kind of operating and kind of like terrorizing the neighborhood. And what happened is that these residents, in the South Shore, in that particular area, they were complaining for like over a year since they came that this is they out here on this garbage. So y'all need to come through and check this out. So I guess with things that's happening, they eventually, with Trump getting in and Trump basically cracking down on all this stuff, it is what it is, man. Y'all can say what y'all want about the cat, but he said what he was going to do, and he doing exactly what he did. So they came deep in the middle of the night to come take down this place, take down this Venezuelan gang that's been pretty much kind of like set in this building. It's like a Carter situation. It's like some Nino Brown type stuff. So they came through, and of course they're in the building. Black people staying there as well. So a couple of Black people got detained. I think a few of them got detained, but they were later released. They came for them because they came for the Venezuelans, for that gang. That's who they came for, and that's what ICE agents and all them people do. They came deep, and everybody's looking at the destruction and all. That stuff was already there. The broken windows and all the other type of stuff. It was a modern day, New Jack City over there, man. So ICE came in, did what they had to do, but the narrative on the streets, and not on the streets, but on the news, that is, they're basically saying that they're targeting Blacks and stuff like that. And no, the thing is, when you put these elements in our neighborhood and something bad happens, we get the bulk of that blame. It's like, it's the Black neighborhoods are kind of like, no, we not doing jack. The thing is, people are basically acting on emotions and not acting on logic, and just sitting back and thinking, why is this happening? What's the circumstances? Instead of just going like, they're targeting us. Dude, it's never not been a day when there was a target on our back. So all that whole things about being next, we was never out of the list. we've been targeted since, since day one. So as a Black American, it is what it is, man. So the whole this information is being spread by, I'm not even gonna say a particular political group or anything like that, to kind of like get Black folks riled up so that we can, wild out and step on the front lines of some stuff that we ain't got nothing to do with. That's some immigration type of stuff. We ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? We not immigrants. So, we sitting up here watching, like, if you got some people in your neighborhood that's not doing right by the neighborhood, you get them out of your neighborhood. And the fact that we basically busting people in who ain't from here, period, to kind of like, and they acting the fool. So it's like, the problem is in our case is that we don't have a place to go to. We are Americans. This is where we're from, born and raised, etc., etc. All these other people who come from other countries, when they do some stuff or they do dirt, they have the option. They can go back. They can go back to where they're coming from. Their place of, and say, hey, they can hop on a plane, call ICE, and them say, oh, I'm gonna turn myself in so I can get that free ride to wherever. You know what I'm saying? These cats out here beating cases. They beating robbery cases. They beating, grape cases. They beating unalive cases, because when something happened, the family is like, the people that's involved pack them up and say, yo, ship them back to whoever. Let them go back to wherever. Let them go back to their spot. So they basically ducking the law. The thing is, man, it's just a lot of information that I just wanted to put it out there, just because it's people that are kind of riled up, is high on their emotions, and saying that they're going through them, they're targeting people, and it's been spread by these TV stations and radio stations that's saying they're coming to our, to the neighbor. Because they come into our neighborhoods is because y'all put these cats in our neighborhood. That's the reason why all this stuff is going down. That's the reason why they came through and kind of like, they came and REKK shop. They came and REKK and said, hey, we coming to get these people up out of here, ship them up out of here. So, but they're not looking at the after effect. They're not looking at those people who actually stayed in those buildings and was like, they feel a little sigh of relief now, because they not under some type of regime that they can't function. Dude, it was like 70 something in South Shore. Like, I used to live 2 blocks away on 76 and Coles. If anybody from the shot, they know, they ain't nothing but a couple of blocks over. In fact, the block where the South Shore, the block where they did the raid, I used to have to get on the bus at that school, the school that's on that block. I had to take the school bus to my school when I was going to John Hope, back when John Hope was elementary school. And that's my old neighborhood, because for anybody who knows, that's Terrortown. So, man, right across the street, right down across the street from Rainbow Beach, it's like, yo, it's a pretty decent neighborhood, man. And I mean, despite all that, I mean, it's a nice, chill type of environment. It's, we south side, it's south side, south over east, man. We got the lakefront, we got the lake, got the beach right there. We got the golf course down the street. I mean, it's a good spot to be in, but they're putting all these people in places that the average cat can't, we couldn't go into those buildings. We couldn't go into those schools and, make them ours and kind of like, do it for the community. They basically dumped everybody into our communities, into our spaces, so that they can, say, oh yeah, we're doing the right thing, and we're fighting for like, dude, nobody has fought for us ever. Nobody's fighting for us. So the fact of us having to do it ourselves, and then we got other people outside of this, I'm like, I already gotta watch my back here being in this country, period, just day to day type of stuff. But the fact that I got outside cats that can do what they gonna do, they can do dirt, and you won't see them cats, because once they do that dirt and the heat's on, they have that option to say, I can skate to back to my country and be like, yo, they'll never find me. And then I know it's a couple of cats that, from around my way that I heard bounce back to their place of origin, chill for a couple of years till the heat went down, and then they end up coming back to America. It's crazy. But So I just wanted to break that down, let you guys know, man. This whole thing about us being targeted in this particular raid, in this particular thing with ICE and FBI's agents, nothing. It's far from the truth. That building was literally like a Venezuelan Carter. They was running the gang and stuff out of there. They was doing all this stuff, and it's like they came in hot. And to me, the South Shore area is kind of like the Hyde Park area. It's kind of it's us. You know what I'm saying? Cats are working. Cats, they're living their lives, man. I'm like, yo, this stuff is not cool. That we got cats coming in. They getting stipends. They getting money. You know what I'm saying? Free rent for a year. For 6 months. Money in their pocket, like, you know what I'm saying? A stipend monthly. Cats, you know what I'm saying, who live here, who struggle every day, would love to have that opportunity. Because give me 6 months of a stipend, you know what I'm saying, a few G's a month as a stipend to kind of build myself to rent free, and then being in a place I'm being rent free. That's a come up to the point that after that 6 months, I'm nice. I don't need nothing from anybody anymore. Using that to kind of build myself, build what I'm doing, what I'm working on, and kind of help the process along. Yo, these cats got the green light to do whatever they want, man. I'm like, you in the grocery stores, you buying out the grocery store because you got that free bread. Everybody that come in here with a check in mind. They come in here, they getting checks in hand, they getting this, that, or whatever, and they running everybody ragged, and everybody dumps on us like we the problem. It ain't our fault. We ain't got nothing to do with none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We here trying to survive, and I'm like, we got my man over here. They out here cutting up, and it's gonna get blamed on us. Everything that happens negatively in this country, they try to blame Black Americans. Not cool, far from it. So, but anyway, man, the ICE raids, you know what I'm saying, in Chicago, especially the most recent one that we had, like I said, 10 minutes away over here, South Shore. They not targeting us, dude. They had a reason for coming there. They came in there and wrecked shop. So that neighborhood, those particular people in that building and in that neighborhood, they breathing a little sigh of relief right now. And God forbid y'all they want to say, oh man, this was a good idea. Nobody wants to say that because it's all political, but it ain't about people's safety. It ain't about people's human rights. It's pretty much like this is, nobody wants to admit, like the politicians here don't want to admit that this was a thing. This was something that was good for this particular neighborhood. Like, yo, they came in, and like I said, they had been complaining for over a year about what was happening at this, in this particular general area. So finally they came through. They came through guns blazing. They was ready to get them cats up out of there because they had all this evidence, all these, these complaints, like these dudes is doing this, they terrorizing the neighborhood. So, but the thing is, they don't care because it's us. But I'm glad they actually did something. So the ICE raid's coming, the ICE raid is what it is. It wasn't in vain. It wasn't targeting FBA. They wasn't targeting us. They came in there with an agenda. And they came in and did what they did. But anyway, I want you guys to be safe. Find no trouble, unless it's good trouble. Yo, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your time. Whatever time you watch this, morning, noon, night, or whatever, enjoy. But I'm telling y'all, these cats is running that plays. The media is running the game. It's not true. You know what I'm saying? Always do your research. Always take your time and just think first. Stop basically jumping head first emotionally into stuff that, think about it first. And then make your decision. Do some research, take the evidence, and basically do your research. I live around here. So it's kind of like, hey, I had to, because I'm like, dude, this is, like I said, not that close, not that far from the house, man. So, do your research before they sit back and let these people spread all this stuff on the TikTok and all this other type of stuff. Like, yo, they spreading this, yo, they're targeting, like, nah. And they got people riled up like, yo, I told y'all. Told us what? And to do with us. They came in for a specific reason. They're not coming for us. You know what I'm saying? anything that happens trickle down, whatever the situation is, they ain't stopped putting they've never stopped putting trying to put their foot on us. You know what I'm saying? So that's something different, but that ain't got to do with what was happening. Like I said, be safe. I see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.
Rekk Report.